Hi everyone. So welcome to our lesson on Google Drive. And basically what I want you to get out of this lesson is that the organizational methods that you've been using when you've been going to school in person can easily be transferred to the organizational method that you use on Google Drive. And we're just going to talk about some of the ways that you can get organized on your Drive, or the various ways that you can use Google to help with your organizational process. So the first thing that I did to see all of my documents is go to drive.google.com. And it's actually, I find it easier to go on drive.google.com as opposed to going just to say docs.google.com, is because that way I can see everything that I have, all the files that I have linked to Google. So Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, and you could see also a Jamboard. So when you get to your Drive, one of two things will happen. You will either see your screen as I have it, for example, or you will see it in list view in this format. Personally, I prefer seeing it in grid view. So I'm going to show the rest of the tutorial in grid view, but if you prefer list view, or if you see it in list view, that's again perfectly fine. So the first thing that I want to show you is that when you actually get to your Drive, you can go to New in the upper left-hand corner, and you can either create a new folder, upload files, or you could create Google Docs, Sheets, anything that's related to Google. So Google Drawings, Google Sites, whatever it is that you want to create. So for example, let's just say I am in Period 3 English. I could create a new folder, and I'm going to call this folder Period 3 English. And I'm going to press create, and the folder appears. And you can notice that right now my files are alphabetized, but you could also reverse the direction of the names, or you could just keep them alphabetized. So what you can do when you actually create your folder is you take your document. So let's just say Google Doc 1 is something that I did in English class. I could take it and I could drag and drop it into Period 3 English. Another way that you can do this is, let's say I want to put Google Sheets into the same folder. You can go to these three sort of, they're not ellipses, but like more actions, I guess. And you press move to, and then you just select Period 3 English and you press move. And that way, when you go to Period 3 English, you see your files are there. Now within the actual Period 3 English folders, let's just say I want to divide it up into classroom, PowerPoints, and homework. So again, I go to new and I create a new folder and I title it classroom, PowerPoints, PowerPoint, create. And then I can create a new folder just for homework, create. And then again, what I could do is drag and drop. So I put that one in PowerPoint, this one I put into homework. And that way, when I get to Period 3 English, I could go straight to homework and just see what files are there. And then to navigate back, you could either go straight to My Drive, which will bring you back to the main My Drive screen, or you could navigate back to Period 3 English and just go back. So what I want to show you now is something really, well, I think it's really cool that you could do with Google Drive, and that's change the color of your folders. So what will happen when you see your Google Drive initially is that most of the folders will be gray. You'll see that I did one example here of a green folder, and here's how you can change the color of your folders. So let's just say you press on, in my case I'm pressing on other, but you just press on a folder that you created. So let's just say I'm going to press on Period 3 English. And then I'm going to go to these three dots and I'm going to go to change color, and I'm going to pick the color. Let's just say I like the color purple, so I'm going to pick purple. And that's it. You change the color of your folder. Now, if let's just say you want some sort of visual representation, or you want to see a picture or like an emoji basically next to the name of the folder, here's what you can do. There's this website called Emojipedia, and you could basically find any emoji on this website. So let's just say I really love English, so I want to put a red heart next to it. So what you're going to do is on this website, emojipedia.org, you go to the red heart, you copy the emoji, just hit copy, you go back, and then you go to period 3 English, and you press rename, and next to it, you're just going to paste it in, and you press OK, and then you have a folder that has an emoji and also a color associated with it. So that's basically what I wanted to show you today. And what I hope that you take away from this is that you might have to play with the organizational system for a bit. You might have to see what it is that works for you. So maybe you don't need to have colored folders, or maybe you do prefer the colored folders. Maybe one of the things that, for example, I like to do is, if let's just say I'm taking classes in graduate school, I could make the classes that I'm taking have a folder that's the same color. And you could see how that's analogous to me being at school and buying school supplies or buying folders and notebooks that have a similar color. So I hope this tutorial was helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. One thing that I do want to mention just before I end this recording is that once you get more into Google Drive, there are other things that we can talk about. So for example, if you see this folder here that says Gardsbane, and then it says basically the name of my class for graduate school, and you see a little person on this folder, that just means that I shared the folder with the person, and that the person who I shared it with, who in this case is my professor, has access to the folder, right? So in this case where I drew the arrow, well, I didn't draw the arrow's next to this folder. This is a shortcut from a document that another person has shared with me. Okay, so I think that's enough content for today. I hope all of this was helpful, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks, guys.